guys, hi everyone. I hope you're all doing great today. As you can see, I'm all smiles because we have on the word of God. I am the most excited person right now to be welcoming Tobi of the Mirror Talk to our channel.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate it.
How are you, dear?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm very fine, thank you. How are you doing today?
Good. Please let me get that you're feeling. I want to hear it. You feel so what?
I feel so honored. I'm privileged on this platform.
Okay.
To be speaking with you. Yes, and I was in when I got the notification. I think I first saw it on Instagram. I started your channel, and I was like, yes, finally, yes, the word of God, yes. And to be here to speak with you, to have this opportunity, it's a blessing, and I'm looking forward to having this conversation with you.
Thank you so much for coming. Really, I am more than pleased to have you here, and I'm sure that whoever is going to watch this video is going to also be impacted by your grace. Thank you so much for coming. Now, I would really like for you to do the introduction of yourself by yourself because I cannot do it finish. So just give us a little introduction. So guys, it's your girl Judith here. And I'm really happy to welcome Bro Tobi here with us today. Leave the bro part. It's my brother. I can't help it sometimes. But yes, Tobi, go ahead. Give us a little bit of introduction of who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much. So my name is Tobi Ojekunle. I'm from Nigeria and I've been in Germany for over 10 years now. So I came to Germany to study electrical and information technology. So I did my bachelor's first of all. Then I did my master's, and afterwards I started working, and I've just been basically in Germany all along. And and what do I do basically? I mean, apart from schooling and working as an engineer now, I also have the opportunity of serving in church, for example, and also have another aspect of my life in which I host Mirror Talk podcast, like Judith said earlier, which is just a podcast platform where we have soulful conversations with experts from different areas of life. So when you want to ask about Tobi or describe Tobi is basically, sometimes I would say I'm living that triangle life where it is work, school, or work/school or development, and then church, and then podcast, and then, maybe a rectangle, sorry, let's make it a rectangle, then friends and social life. Yeah, that rectangle describes me perfectly.
Only you. Only you. Only you. Honestly, I don't know how that is possible that you're able to. Well, I thank God for God because being able to handle all of these things is not a joke. It's not a walk in the park. And that is one of the questions that I would like for you to clarify when that comes, that you're able to share how you manage all of these things that you do, because sometimes I don't think you need to wait till you're done with one to do another. I think you do some even simultaneously. So I'm hoping that you can share that knowledge with us on this channel so that I know there are a lot of people who would want to understand how to schedule what they want to do at this time, which ones to combine. But thank you for that introduction. So you said you're an engineer. I'm a little bit curious as to what exactly you do. I know I had reached out to you one time regarding something coding, chemical. So can you give us a little bit of detail on the type of work that you do as an engineer?
Yes. So I'm an electrical engineer, but currently I work as a software engineer.
Okay.
And more precisely, I work in the software quality assurance department at the moment. And what I do basically is programming and developing, environment for testing softwares and automating, basically, like anything that has to do with writing softwares or creating tools that could help to automate processes, that could help to, reduce the work that human beings have to do. That's my work, basically, writing codes to relieve we human beings of our work, or to reduce not monotonous works or repeated processes. Yeah, that's basically what I do in simple terms.
I tell you that it sounds interesting, but I don't want to be like you when I grow up. I don't like anything coding. Anything coding. No, it's not my forte. I don't like it at all. I'm like, where do you guys get all these abstract things from? So I'm supposed to key in this, key in this command, and then it makes something. But it's really beautiful what eventually comes out of the work that you do. So well done. Maybe sometime I could give it a rethink.
Yeah.
I'm open to it anyway, but right now, no. So now the next question I would really want to ask is this. This already sounds like, it's not, it doesn't sound magical to me. It sounds like real work, something that takes your time, your energy, and all of that. And I remember you mentioned that I love the fact that you included, the area where you work in church, that you're a worker in church. So now, doing what you do, because of course you know that this space, the idea is to promote career and calling. How are you able to manage your personal life? How are you able to manage your work? How are you able to manage, of course, family and all of that? How do you do all of these things at the same time?
Yeah, I think the key word to that is planning. Growing up, I learned this, is it 4 P's? Proper planning prevents poor performance. 5 P's, sorry. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And so it boils down to you exactly knowing what you want to get out of life, get out of your time, get out of your day, basically, and what you want to do. So now, like I said, you can describe me in a rectangle, like, okay, work or school or academical development or advancement, and then maybe podcast, and maybe then church. I give church its own section because of God, and and then social life is family, friends, everything that has to do with any other thing. Social life, that's small side. That's the other edge of the whole characteristics. So planning in this time now comes into sense of, okay, what day is it today, and what do I want to do today, and what are my goals for the day? So basically, having that mindset of, okay, I have to achieve this and this at this particular time, and what do I have to do in order to achieve them? Writing my plans down, writing my goals down, and seeing when I have to execute what, and what I can do. Like you said it correctly, what can I do simultaneously to ensure that I can meet my goals at the same time? Like we know, for example, Mondays to Fridays, we have our 9 to 5s. We have to work. Then I plan, okay, during the weekdays, there are some things I have to do. Maybe I have to work 9 to 5, yes, try to fix that time properly, ensure I do everything I have to do in order to be effective as much as I can at my work. Then also planning what happens around the whole day, basically. Before I start work, what do I have to do to prepare myself for the day in order to work effectively? And after work, what can I do for myself, basically? So I can say on Mondays, maybe I'm going to work on personal development or work on some other goals that I have in mind. On Tuesdays, I can maybe say I have maybe podcast work to do after work, for example. On Wednesday, I could say I'm going to hang out with friends. You see, I'm trying to cover all the triangles. And on Sunday, I could say, yeah, it's God and family, for example. So that way I'm able to touch all edges of my rectangle to ensure that I'm able to be effective. But a lot of times, like you said already, things cross, and we have like things that overlap each other, basically. And that way that's when you have to, prioritize, make priorities. Like, okay, what is more important to me at this moment? What do I have to achieve right now? What do I have to do right now? What is of less importance? What are the distractions that could prevent me from doing all the things I have to do at the moment? So identifying all those key factors and then putting everything into priority helps us to then carry out our plans, our actions, and fulfill or achieve our goals basically. And for people who cannot, work simultaneously, because a lot of people I know, I have friends that tell me that they cannot do two things at the same time. So that one, that's focusing on one task and trying to finish it as fast and effective as possible without distractions. Because I've learned in my life so far that distractions can get the time you need to finish a task. I mean, I am still learning that until now. Even to today, I have learned that some distractions will come in, and instead of me to finish a task in 1 hour, I will take, God knows, 2 hours or 3 hours to finish it. So knowing that I cannot multitask, I will try to eliminate all distractions as good as possible so that I can finish task A under 1 hour and resume task B in the next 1 hour. But one thing that is important in all of this that I've been saying is taking rest, planning that rest strategically in between each process. We are not machines, unfortunately. We're not GPT or AI. We cannot work 24/7. So taking that time to rest, like you go to work, maybe you get back home by 7 p.m. and you know that next thing you want to do is maybe work on your podcast, like for me, or you want to work on a course that you are doing online, for example. It's very important to take that short period of time in between to rest. Maybe take a nap, go for a walk, call a friend, speak with Judith on a channel, for example. Eat something, watch a movie, something like that. And they know that, yes, I'm blocking this time to clear off my head of my normal 9 to 5, of every stress I have. And then afterwards, I can resume back to the next thing I want to achieve for that day.
Yeah. Interesting. I like it. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, as you were just speaking, I just started to ponder. I'm like, okay, I know that on a normal day, as a child of God that you are, and, somebody that you're not just a Christian, you are a born again Christian, you are in the service of God. So I don't see that distinction between your work and the way you serve God. It's like when you put your mind to something, which is when you are putting your mind to work, you're giving it your 100%. And when it comes to God, you're giving it your 100%. And that's what I am about, right? And that is what this channel is envisioned to promote, right? That there is no disparity between these two. So my question is, how do you manage your daily work and growth spiritually? So I'm guessing, take for example, do you have times when on a work day, do you have times when you get to study the Bible, how do you manage that?
Yes. Yeah, that's a wonderful question and something that I've been working on myself and experimenting on different things. But one thing that has been working for me till date is, working on my spirit in the morning, then my body afterwards, then bank account or career, basically. And that has to do with, I wake up in the morning and I, as soon as possible, get up, maybe get a glass of water or get a cup of coffee, and I try to study the word, basically, like open heavens. And a YouVersion app also is very, very good. I use that a lot. Like I open the YouVersion app and I just do the daily refresh. Like I do the technical day, I watch the video, read everything, follow the whole prompt, follow the whole prayer prompt. And I'm like, it makes it so easy for you to grow because you open my open heavens on my phone and I read what Pastor Yadebo has written and I learn from it, meditate on the word. And I'm like, yeah, and I pray the prayer points too. And then I go to YouVersion app also. In the morning, sometimes you might be worried that, oh, what should I pray about, everything? But you have everything, structured for you, basically. Words of the day, and then prayer points also that you can pray to. And once I've done that, sometimes I always get energized also afterwards, pray for that, prayer points and follow up on that. Then we thank God for pastors like Pastor Jerry Eze too, and for Pastor Bolaji Idowu too, that have morning prayers. So that you feel so energized after doing that short devotion on your own, and like, oh, let me join this prayer. Maybe I'm just listening to it and I'm just praying along and listening to the Bible verses and listening to the testimonies and being gingered in the spirit or energized in the spirit. And that way, that's really to grow. Some people, it could be maybe in the evening that they want to do theirs. I've tried that also, but I noticed that I sometimes, a lot of times, don't meet up with studying the Bible in the evening. So morning works for me best, like waking up and doing that first in the morning, and then doing other things, and then joining morning prayers too of recent also helps me to, stay in that line of my spiritual growth, and helps me to just align with God, and even helps me in planning my day on its own, because with God on your side, you're able to know exactly what to do and the steps to take, and it makes everything just easy in its own way. Yeah, and that's what works for me too now.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. It's amazing, your level of consistency, especially when it comes to your open heavens. I dope. I hear you, my guy. It's not easy. Every day, day after day, morning after morning, sometimes 5 a.m. we've posted it. I'm like, guy, more grace. And you still have to you still have to go and do your coding stuff during the day. No, there is grace there. There is grace. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, my next question would be, what are the specific things that have really shaped you as a professional?
Things that have shaped me as a professional, I would say, are just basically experiences from, being in Germany. Like coming to Germany has really shaped me being as a professional. I never got the opportunity to work in Nigeria as a professional, because I came here when I was still 19, when I was still 19. So coming to Germany and being a Black person, I would say, and seeing that, I mean, a lot of people, like I saw when I came, were not like, I saw a lot. I had different categories of examples. Basically, I had examples of people that were doing it already, like we were making it in their careers, and I saw a lot of people that were doing jobs that I don't wish to do. So that way, it's really seeing people that are doing jobs that I don't want to do, like manual labors and all that, really pushed me to say I am going to, take it seriously, to climb up the ladder, basically. And that helped me also to mold my mindset to say, I'm not going to just settle for mediocrity. I'm going to keep on pushing, keep on working hard, and keep on, developing myself to see how I can grow up in my career. And that's really molded me. And also looking at people that have gone ahead of me, also that I met, like my seniors that are, like already established in their career, in their businesses, also to, mold my career, basically. And also I would say, looking at role models, I would call them role models, basically. They're all like role models, people that I've done the things that I wish to do. It really helped me to just keep on pushing, and give me an idea of what I want to achieve also for myself in my career.
That's good to know and very helpful. Thank you. So now imagine that your younger self, because of course we know that there are people in Nigeria that are hoping to relocate and go through the professional transition stuff. Some people are people who have worked in Nigeria, some people are people who have not worked in Nigeria. So imagine that there is somebody who puts a call through to you to say, okay, I want to come over here. I'm looking to naturalize, or I'm looking to get into the system, integrate into the workspace. What would be your advice? The reason I'm asking this question is not necessarily because I need you to give me practical tips on how to help these people, but also you find out that when people transition here and they are hit by cultural shock and a lot of things that they did not expect, or maybe some of the, because if you come here, you don't just enter, you have to monitor the system, and then you know where to get into, where fits you the most, right? So you find out that some people, when they come here, in the midst of doing all of these things, or because it's a new environment and all of that, they forget who they were in Nigeria. Let's say, for example, this person has been a really strong child of God in Nigeria, and then they come here because of what they meet here. In a bid to become, in a bid to thrive, they forget their background. They throw, God, wait first, let me find my ground before I come back. So what would be the advice that you would give to somebody who is coming here, so that they have, first of all, a guide to becoming, to finding their spot here, and also to still remain in the right standing with God?
Yes. One advice I'll give such a person, or even give myself, is that I'll tell myself, coming abroad doesn't mean that all my problems are going to be solved, or I'm going to start eating bread with butter every day. I mean, it's better than Nigeria for now, I would say, but it does not mean that it's not tough. It is tough. And having that at the back of your mind, you should know that when everything is tough, when things are tough, you still need that pillar to hold on to, basically. And that's in our case. We need to hold on to God, and not holding on to Him or saying, please stay at His side and let me face this storm of life. Could be a very big mistake, because you're saying you're living a whole pillar and saying you want to face the storm of life, you will sink. You might swim a little bit and strive and say, oh yeah, I'm moving forward, but at one point you have no energy anymore and you'll just sink. So I'll tell myself that, or tell my younger self that, yes, coming to Germany does not mean you start plucking money on the tree and getting everything easily. No, it's not going to happen that way. And you need all your toolkit. While you're serving God before in Nigeria, you have to increase it now. You will say there are no witches and wizards here. There are other things that could be worse for you. Because witches and wizards will not force emotion to come to Germany. My brother, my sister, my friend, there are different things. There are things that will eat you that will be witches and wizards. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So if you say IBG days are over or God's time are over in Nigeria, no, you are kidding yourself. You need it more. Because even in this country, apart from you thriving outside to survive, it's a place where you are on your own. That's one thing I'm going to tell my younger self, or anybody that's coming. You are on your own. No matter how much family you might think you have or friends that you have here, you will land here, you get your room, and one day you notice you are on your own. Everybody's facing it. Everybody's going through something. Everybody's doing something, and you call them, you don't be reachable. You write them a message on WhatsApp. Your message. Who will you turn to? Turn to your God. Don't turn to any brother, because you can say, I have night shift, I have money shift, I have this shift, and then they are not reachable. So that's what I would tell. I mean, I remember early days of being in Germany, and I was alone in my room. I mean, I was getting to know people, but I was still alone, like really, really alone or lonely. And I noticed, having someone to fall back on, which is like my God, basically, helped me, pulled me through those periods in my life, and helped me also through.
I can read.
Yeah, you can read. Yeah, I would like you to also share your story. And so far, you've not yet shared on your channel, so maybe you can use this opportunity to tell us a little bit of your own experience.
Wait, let me finish my questions, because I still have 2 more questions to go. We'll cover it. If not on this video, we'll cover it another time. But because this call is important, I don't know when else I will get you. So now that I have you, let me use it.
Yes.
Let me use this opportunity very, very well. Now, so thank you so much once again. So now, for somebody looking to study and work here or abroad, now what I mean by abroad is it could be UK, it could be US, but based on your own personal experience. For somebody looking to study abroad, what would be the advice that you would give to them now professionally? Because, many people think that if you come here, you don't need to develop, you don't need to change, you are who you are, just stay there. So what advice would you give to them? Yeah. Especially, sorry to cut you, but especially, how did you manage to get into the working space that you got into now? I don't want to believe that it was you just walked into it unless a miracle happened. So what was the process like, and what advice would you give?
Yeah. One advice, I mean, I'll give you like a few points.
Yes, please.
One thing I would say is, the first thing I'll say is know your stuff. Like, are you a public health expert or an engineer? Know it. Know that field that you've learned in school. Know it. Have that confidence in yourself that you know it, because you'll be looking for jobs around, and people interviews will shake you to know, do you truly know this thing? So believe and have that confidence. First of all, know your stuff and have that confidence that you know it, because it's going to show off to the interviewers when they are asking you questions. And third thing is, stay up to date. Are you looking for a job? What platforms are you looking for a job on? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Zing? if you're in Germany, for example, are you checking on Indeed? Are you checking on Stepstone? Are you up to date on the latest jobs in on the website, on all the website or all the platforms? Stay up to date. And when you've gotten a job, one thing that is also very important is upskilling. You have to be upskilling. Like, are there new courses to learn from? Are there new things from your career? Are there like loopholes you've noticed in your new job? Things that you notice you're not so good at. How can you cover up for those lacks? Basically, keep on upskilling, keep on learning new things, keep on gathering new experiences or skills, basically, and that will make you even much more relevant, in the marketplace. And when you are switching jobs too, it could be very helpful or useful for you to get even better opportunities, because you don't want to be where you are for the next 100 years. You want to be upskilling, you want to be evolving, you want to be getting promoted. And for you to be promoted, you have to show that you know what you are doing and you are very important and relevant and valuable for the next position.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, because I like the fact that you mentioned the upskilling part, because then even when you have gotten into the role, it's not safe to play safe, right? That you are, no, the world is moving forward. So you have to keep moving. You have to keep improving and developing yourself. Thank you so much. I think I've asked all my questions. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, what would be your last words for us? Like your last advice? Now, marrying, career, and your calling, right? We have all been called. God said, we did not choose him, he chose us. What would be your last words to somebody out there thinking that, okay, I need time away from God to be who I want to be. God can wait. When I'm that person that I want to be, then we can start going to church. What would be your advice to give to that person? Sitting at home and thinking every day, Sunday, church, every Sunday we are going to church. That time I would have used it to work, because you are a living example that there is possibility in doing it. So it's just a question of planning. So what would be your advice?
Yes. First thing I'll say is that subscribe to this channel, the Word of God, so that when you're on the road, you can be watching the video and staying on this, and and adding to that, you need materials like this, that keeps you, on your faith, on your ground, basically. And secondly, I'll say, yes, adding to that factor, so you need God. Like, it's a mistake that we tend to make when we are stressed and overwhelmed, basically, with burdens of life, that we think, oh, let me leave something that's not so relevant, like church, or because we think it's time wasting. But at the end of the day, we notice we actually need that with balance. We need that in our life to get us to where we want to get to. Because if you say, let me get to where I want to get to, and then have God in my life later on, you will notice that you might not get to that place that you are planning to get to, because you can't do it without God. Or even if you take a longer time to get there without God. So fill yourself with useful materials. Like right now, subscribe to this channel, and also other important channels or places that helps you to develop spiritually and even your career also. And secondly, find a body of Christ, a community of people that are of like mind, that want to develop. There are a lot of Christians out there in churches that are also pursuing their career and they are excelling, and they will help you, and they will help you balance that spiritual life and your career goals together, and you will see that you excel even faster than you envisioned or you think you have excelled. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Our time is running out. A few more minutes to go. Thank you so much, Miro Talk, aka Tobi, aka the engineer, aka the child of God. Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. We appreciate you. And we look forward to having something like this again with you. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you. I can't stop saying thank you. And of course, thank you to God who is helping us, right? Yeah, that will be all from my end. So please, guys, go and subscribe to Miro Talk on Instagram, on YouTube, on where else? Podcast.
On all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere you can find your podcast. But I'd like to say thank you so much, Judith, for this opportunity. I mean, once again, I'm so happy and blessed to have this opportunity to speak and to be counted worthy to, be on your platform to share little words of wisdom on knowledge I've gathered in my life so far. I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. And continue doing what you're doing.
I will. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a lovely evening.